music. Like, you think Bron don't know who the best high school nigga is in the world right now? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like that's the industry that niggas live in. Like, niggas love music, bro. It'd be an ego thing and a competition thing, and niggas feeling like it's not enough room for everybody. That's what it is. But I understand because that's a human emotion, that's a human feeling. But the South is proving it, bro. Like, these niggas, they got everybody, bro. Like, it'll be a nigga that you just heard of, Lil Got It, tomorrow, and in 3 months, this nigga got 3 million followers. The nigga got 4 hits on the Billboard because he got 2 records with Thug and 2 records with Lil Baby. Like, it's just different. They fuck with each other, bro. I done been
I'm
down there,
already
bro.
knowing though.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
already
it's
knowing,
just
man.
it's
Like I'm
just
originally,
different.
yeah, I'm originally from Atlanta, man, and I moved out to LA. So I kind of know it different. I kind of caught wind of both, you know. I think in Atlanta, I mean, I'm like I said, I think for LA, it's in Atlanta, it's less it's like less politics, man. I don't know. It's just less politics out there.
Nah,
In
it's
LA,
still
That's
It's
not
just
true. It
different
ain't
politics,
politics
not
out
bro.
there.
Bro,
It's
true.
just
just
different
make
We just
politics.
had
dope
a whole
shit.
nother room.
Dope shit. That's it. Just make dope shit. You could be anywhere. You make dope shit, it's gonna go up, man. That's it. That's it. That's my opinion. Just make dope shit and it'll happen. And if it ain't dope enough, it don't sometimes it just don't it ain't
Yeah,
there
and I
yet.
know,
That's
and I
it.
get that. Sometimes
You
it
know?
don't, and sometimes it don't cut it. But I mean, I think LA have a lot of artists who music can cut it. But like, I mean, so we have to find the underlying problem. Like you just said, people don't be supporting each other, and I don't even think it'd be other artists every time too. It do just be like just fans as well. Like, all right, like y'all know their music hot. Like, why are we not supporting? You feel me? So that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
That,
From my
but that go back to what Silas said, because sometimes it be records that's good for the region. Also, like
Right.
it's a very
Well,
good
and
record, but it's
there's
regional.
another point that I've made in other rooms before, and what happened was, and I'm gonna say something. So if you've heard the story before, bear with me. After Pac died and Suge got locked up in the '90s, the music business pulled its resources out of LA, and they weren't signing LA acts. So we missed a whole generation of LA professionals, managers, label reps, label heads, things like that. Because when artists are hot, people on their entourage get jobs. And so we miss that. So we don't have an LA business infrastructure of like really great managers, A&Rs and things like that. We miss that. Where Atlanta, once they got on, there's an infrastructure of business. So when a new artist comes on, he's going to get an experienced manager who has 20 years worth of experience of relationships. So when you see someone who just pops like that, it's not that they just pop like that. There's an infrastructure for them. We don't have an infrastructure here. We're building a new one. And I'm part of building a new one and getting young
Fact.
people, but we don't have one. So when Reason is talking about he wants to fuck with people, who's gonna really connect Reason to Hit Boy? That's a big homie to be like, oh, Hit, you really should do this shit with Hit Boy. Like, you just got one off with Dom, do another one, in between this and that, do one with Reason. We don't have
hey
those people.
also
But shit, I was
hey
fucking
That's
with
a
also
great
Reason.
point,
I was
Silas.
fucking
go
with
ahead.
Reason. Shit, I was fucking with Reason, and then shit, I don't know what the fuck happened. But at the end of the day, like the thing is, like it's about the sound. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about the sound and Reason, and all of these artists know that. Like you can't get a label situation. You can't get none of that shit without the music. And like the problem is, like I tell all of the artists that are independent that have the leverage when I tell these people, which is the same shit I told Reason and a lot of the other artists that have had the opportunity to work with me, or I've had the opportunity and pleasure of working with. Um, your leverage is taken away from you the majority of the time when you sign to a label. I literally have told niggas like, when you go to a label, like niggas have told me, i.e. Reason, have told me like, bro, I'm gonna have you a part of everything, nigga. You like one of the most incredible niggas, all this shit, right? And then I'm telling niggas like, I appreciate that, but I've been doing this shit so long that I know when you get a deal, the people, the powers that be, you're gonna have to work with those producers. It's not about what you want at that point. So it's like an underlying thing of like you having the power to actually work with people and having the power and the understanding of working with these producers that are willing to work with you and build with you, you know what I'm saying, and establish these relationships to create a new sound, which a lot of times gets you niggas the notoriety and the deals anyway. So if that's the case, Why stop fucking with these niggas?
But that's not necessarily the case, Mars. And like I said, out of
What you
respect
mean
for
that's not the case?
what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying is
for
that
artists in general, that's
I'm no,
literally.
I'm letting you know out of respect for like you and Silas, like that's a conversation we can have offline. But I don't get forced to work with no producers, bro. I don't know where that narrative came from. Like I got the homies on my project. Like I don't get forced to work with no producers, but we can have that conversation offline, not in front of 90 people. But
Yeah, no,
I'm
I'm
just
not
letting
saying.
you know that's not the
No,
case.
I was just using you as an example. But what I'm saying, but the point that I was making, I think you're missing the point. The point that I'm making is that it's a lot of independent artists that are trying to figure out what they're doing wrong. What I'm saying is get with experienced producers, maybe people that you love their music, maybe people that you love these artists that they work with. Maybe get with Mikey Keys, maybe get with my guy Mars, maybe get with Rance, maybe get with these people that have been doing this shit for a long time. You know what I'm saying? To know how to create songs that understand human behavior, that understand like what the fuck are you talking about? What is going to be the subject? What's going to be the context? Why, like, what's going to be different? Why is people going to click on your shit other than other niggas? That's what I'm saying. Like, we have to let producers produce. That's the problem. You
No, a
know what I'm
thousand
saying?
percent. But that's not what we were speaking on. Is the fact that it's certain people that's in LA that once they get to a certain stature, they not like working with LA artists no more. So that's what we were speaking on. You get what I'm saying? And so when we talking about building up a whole coast and having, multiple niggas like Atlanta does, you know what I'm saying? Having multiple people that's, big ass stars and shit like that. We talking about the fact that once people become big ass stars, you still got to touch base at home. You still got to build, and that's on the rapper side and the producer side. Like you still got to touch base at home and be able to help other artists build up. You get what I'm saying? Like I've done a bunch of features with up and coming LA artists, and I always will, regardless of how big of an artist I get, because of the fact that it's important to me to build up that sound. I feel like every artist in LA that's building up in that way, if you get to a certain level, you got to be able to take care of home, or it's gonna die out. That's just the way that the shit rolls.
And I think we appreciate, you did a joint with Nana, who's on stage, and and that's a really
Oh, my nigga
impactful
Nana
record
here. I didn't even know.
for
Yep,
Nana
yep.
and
What's good?
whatnot.
What's
You
good?
you doing that for
Yeah,
Nana
that's
allowed
hard.
him to spread and whatnot, and people are talking about him. He's now a new voice in the city and things like that because you did do that song. He was able to get you in the video. Like you obviously made yourself available for someone like him.
Exactly, and
And
that's
so
not even
I
me.
see your point as far as
Yeah,
like
like that's
helping
not
out.
even me like patting myself on the back. Like I think Nana's dope. So when Nana hit me about the record, and Nana can attest to this, it was easy. I sent back I took the politics out of it. Like we're gonna take the politics out. I'm gonna do the verse. I'm gonna show up to the video. We was there for a
Mm-hmm.
fucking long ass time, but I'm
Nigga,
gonna show up to the
facts.
video. You feel me?
It
Like I'm gonna do
was
whatever
like
you would.
12 hours.
Yeah, but like whatever y'all vision is, I'm gonna do it. You get what I'm saying? Because I believe in this nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so that's all I'm saying is that it don't always got to be a status thing. Like, if you think a nigga is dope and you believe in him, like, do the music. Like, even if like Cash said earlier, like even if the politics are gonna get in the way, at least get the music done because you don't know if the politics is gonna get in the way. Because sometimes the politics might be about to get in the way. You might do the record and the powers that be might be like, this shit hard. Fuck it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's what happened with Nana shit. Like, Brett hit me. He was like, who was Nana? I'm like, yo, you the homie from, you know what I mean? He from the city. He like, all right, you do the record? I'm like, yeah. Like, all right, man. Like, because I'm always doing features. So he be on me. He was like, hey, Reason, like, this is the last feature, my nigga. Like, goddamn, send me the record. And then he called me back like 5 minutes later, like, yo, this shit hard. And then he approved the video. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, do the music anyway, because the powers that be might hear the music and then fuck with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, but let's take the politics out of it. Like, we trying to build up a coast. It ain't just about, at least in my opinion. If you feel like it's just about you, then cool. More respect to you. Do you? But I feel like it's about a whole coast of niggas. You get what I'm saying? Like niggas don't respect us for our rapping ability. They don't respect us for our hit making ability. And we got a lot of good ass music producers and artists out here, bro, and they don't respect us.
Facts.
Like that's just what it is. You get what I'm saying? So we got to be able to build that shit up. Three, I know his hands is tied and whatnot, but niggas are in a position to put niggas in good positions. But that's just one small example of how, like, imagine if the whole city was doing what like DJ Hed is doing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, imagine if all the artists was doing that and all the producers was doing that. Like, because we got dope niggas. Like, I always tell niggas when it comes to just rapping, I think the West Coast got the best rappers in the industry. Just rapping. You get what I'm
Hands
saying?
down.
Now, I don't even think it's close. You get what I'm saying? Like, so we got that covered, but we also got niggas that make really, really dope records. You know, like you said, we need to make more records that transition more, but all of that comes from like, you know, learning the shit, understanding what a hit record is. Like Head broke the shit down to me, down to the science, to the BPMs and everything. You know what I'm saying? Changed my whole perspective on it. So people understanding that, you know, you go to the studio and you have that in mind and you trying to make bigger records. I feel like we can all transition and do bigger things, but it also comes down to us fucking with each other and us not taking the spotlight that we do get. Once we get that spotlight, us running to a different city and taking it to another artist. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying don't work with nobody out of your region. I'm just saying you still got to touch home base. A lot of times people, as soon as they get the contact, and I've fallen victim to this, so I can't even cap and act like I know everything, but it's like you meet a nigga, y'all get it, y'all get a good relationship, and you got his phone number. You want to text a nigga a record right away. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's good to, like, you know, have the relationship, but, you know, just piggybacking off what you said, you got to make sure that you get the right one. Like, I remember when I left the revenge sessions and I had Cole number, and the first thing I did was send this nigga over a fucking hip hop like backpack joint, because I always, as a fan, I always want to rap with him on some shit like that. And, you know, his response to me was like, this shit dope as fuck, but like, what is this gonna do for you? And I'm glad that he told me that instead of leaving me on red.
I'm glad he said that shit.
Yeah, he could have just left me on red. He could have just
That's a
been
real
like,
nigga right there.
yeah, nah, Cole, me, we've grown and had a relationship, and I fuck with him so much because he don't gotta give me the game that he's giving me. But like I said, like, he saved me from making that same mistake from maybe 5-6 other artists. You get what I'm saying? By just literally saying, he was like, I fuck with this shit tight. We can rap for hours on this, but like, what would this do for your career? And that shit just blew my fucking mind, because it's like, he's right. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, he a hip hop artist and he raps about the same shit I rap about, but this is J.Cole. I got to put him on the one. You get what I'm saying? If I'm gonna get him on one, I got to put him on the one. It don't make sense. And so that's just piggybacking off what you said. Like, I've done that. I've been a victim to that.
Yeah, it's the league is different when you're on the court, bro. Like, you can have all these thoughts of how it's gonna be. Like, you know, when you just watching as a fan, even though you doing it and putting your hours in and shit, it's like you be thinking like, okay, fuck it. If I go get a Kendrick feature tomorrow, nigga, I'm out of here. It don't really work like that. Or if I go have this and do that, I work with this producer. It don't necessarily equate to success or necessarily push your shit forward. A lot of people be thinking because they're making moves. You can make 10 moves, but you didn't move forward. You just moved left, right, backward. You didn't really go nowhere.
And you can devalue other people's brands you're trying to get to help you. Like, that's one of the things. Like, imagine when Reason, like, a couple years go by, right? And like, you want to help people on the coast, but at a certain point, what are you going to do? Give 20 features to 20 different artists?
No,
Like,
that's real. That's real.
that may not be able to help all of them. But what you'll do, this is what people don't see too, where they'll be like, man, bro, don't fuck with the coast, or you don't fuck with this. Because you didn't see a record or something, or you didn't see him say something, but behind the scenes, he might be giving game like Cole did to you right there.
Yeah,
Like, if he'd have gave you a record, it might have fucked up your shit even more, or
a record ain't
devalued
the
his
only way to help
brand.
somebody.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
real.
So I think it gets you're right that people don't help, but also I think it gets to a certain point where you've done so well with your brand and its value. You have to protect, like, somebody has to, like, Musa has to protect you, right? You know, and he's got to say no sometimes, but in the background, y'all are still going to be helping people and putting them on or giving them game or doing something that is a equivalent value, if not more, you know? So it's not always a negative. Sometimes it's just to protect all the above.
I had somebody say something interesting to me about it, but I was like about what you just said, and I was like, bro, but like I've never asked nobody for nothing. Like I just need y'all to win. That's really it. Like I need all of y'all to win. That's what I need.
Everyone.
And I need y'all to make the best records. I need y'all to make the best. I need y'all to have the biggest movements. I need y'all to not be assholes to these white people. And I need y'all to win.
And if
And
your team falls short in any way, hit me. I will help you. I don't care. Like, if you need help with on the publicity side, I need to connect you. If you need help trying to understand, how radio works, I'll explain it to you. Like, nigga, hit me. We need you guys to win. And you don't understand the passion that me and this nigga had for this fucking city and this culture. We did 10 years, in the mud trying to get these niggas to where they're at. Pulling
Facts.
up on
I can
everybody.
attest to that.
We pulled up on
Who was that, Mike?
everybody.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what I'm
for
saying?
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
just so they can win. And niggas don't listen. You'd be surprised how many
Real
people
shit.
don't listen. And we still pull up.
You right.
No, that's real. That nigga Head pulled up on me before I dropped my project and literally like ran through track for track with me, like there, like nigga late, ran through track for track. Told me and was honest with me, told me straight up, like the closest record you got to being a record. He was like, your project is dope as fuck. Like, it's dope. But he was like, the closest thing you got to being a record is Showstop. He was like, on your next time around, like this your first one, so it's cool. But on your next time around, like, I need a record. And then he proceeded to break the shit down to me to a science. Like, this is what catches. This is what catches. This is what radio programmers or whatever the term for it is. This is how you get your song put into the the Rolodex, and this BPM between this BPM. Like it goes deeper than just doing a record. Like
Even a song length.
man, like it goes so much deeper than just doing a record, bro. And I'll be telling people that, like, if you got a relationship, I got relationships with niggas that I've helped way more than I could ever help them if I did a record with them. Like me doing a record with them would not have helped as much as I've helped, you get what I'm saying, like behind the scenes and calling this person and calling that person just because I believed in the person. You get what I'm saying? Like, so just having a relationship with somebody and, like you're saying, like being intentional with what you bring into the table and not just calling a nigga like Cash shit to just talk a nigga ear off just because you got his phone number. Like actually being intentional with a conversation and moving forward. Like I even had that conversation with Cash. I was like, bro, like if you ever in the studio, even if we not working, like I'll pull up just because that shit gonna help me. Like same way you pulling up to my session is gonna help you. I'm gonna have niggas there that you need to build a relationship with. You gonna have niggas there that I need to build a relationship with. Like, and on the music side, you getting another ear that's gonna be honest with you, and I'm getting another ear that's gonna be honest with me. Like, if we gonna make the West what niggas is trying to make it, and that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier, is like we gotta start fucking with each other. Like even our media need a stronger presence. Like we don't really have a presence. Like, and that's why at the end of the year when all these lists come out, we constantly left out. That's why when the Grammys come around, we constantly left out, bro, because we don't have no presence. Like we
And
gotta
in our
build that
LA
shit.
media, we have emerging media. And sometimes you're gonna have to bite that bullet and do an interview with somebody that the label may think, why would you do this interview? It's like I gotta feed into the ecosystem.
Exactly.
So I gotta
Exactly.
feed into a Mad Lately that's just getting started. But you know what? They're out here trying to do what they can and whatnot, and we gotta support that.
That's
So,
real.
you gotta do that. You gotta do maybe what we talking about radio or whatnot. Not everyone can get to homegrown immediately, but when you do get to homegrown, we hope that you've done the other, you've done, the Mad Latelys and these other shows and whatnot, so
Thank
that
you.
therefore it makes sense to be on homegrown. And we're gonna
I've
tell you,
actually
like,
talked about that
I
too.
asked somebody like, "What media have you done?" When they come to me, it's like, "All right, yeah, you're dope, but what media have you already done?" Because this is now homegrown. Homegrown's 10+ years in. You know what I'm saying? We're not at Lamoli in Inglewood no more. Like you can't just walk in and just get an interview. Like
But
Well,
there's
that's
real
not
shit.
I'll
even.
hit people. I'll hit people and ask them to do a cipher or a freestyle for me or something like that. And these will be the same people on the timeline saying mainstream LA media don't fuck with up and coming artists.
they bars ain't up for the cipher, Gina. I mean, you know. That's what I was gonna say. Niggas don't
But
be
not,
having
but now
mind for music.
that's real though. It's like you'll go around and complain about some shit, but then Gina hitting you, and it's and I be telling people, I done said this for years. Bet on the dope niggas. Like Gina been. I'm not even just saying this because she in the room, because Gina know how I feel about her. Gina been dope since I met her. Like so,
And has
why?
always been for the culture.
Yeah. So like
Facts.
you bet on the dope niggas. Like why would I not build a relationship with Gina now? Because in 5 years you don't know who the fuck Gina gonna be. Like bet on the dope. If you think somebody
I
dope,
know who she
fuck
gonna
with
be.
them. Yeah, but that's what I'm
Using my
just saying.
favorite
Like
word, dope, bro. Dope.
like for
You
real.
can't
Like
stop dope.
yeah, you can't, bro.
But
If it's
but
dope, it's dope. And if somebody dope at whatever they do, whether they're an artist, producer, media personality, whatever it is, you fuck with them because you don't know who people are gonna be. You got to network with the people around you. Stop reaching. You definitely reach up still, but I'm saying you can't reach up and just expect somebody gonna grab your
Nah,
hand.
reach side to side, man.
Yeah, reach side
I
to side.
remember. I think. Well, first of all, like Gina, what you just said, that happens on every level. That still happens to me. So that happens at every level. It don't matter what it is. It all depends on the people you talking to, and well, it hasn't happened recently, but it definitely has happened in the last 4 years for sure. Like, oh well, I had a manager tell me that an artist that I fuck with Or no, we've outgrown your platform. I was like, all right, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, you know, he feels some kind of way that I don't fuck with him. And it's like, the thing is, it's interesting to me. And it's not that I don't even fuck with him. Like, I don't have
He
no
played
problem with him.
himself though.
I don't have a problem with him. But my problem is, my thing is, though, we're not going to ignore that. Like, okay, you might not believe in this platform. You might not believe in Gina Views. You might not believe in Mad Lately. You might not have believed in Letty at one point. She in here. You might not believe in fucking Rosecrans Vic. You might not believe in Cypress, whatever it is, or Gabe C. Gabe C is fucking me, fucking 10 years ago, or 6 years, 6 years, 7 years ago. He's literally me, except he got a platform. We didn't have shit. So I know people who shun Gabe C off, like, oh, Gabe this, and like, oh no, I need to get to Just. Nigga, Just is not in this room. Just don't be in none of you niggas clubhouses. Just don't listen to none of you niggas records. Just don't care about none of y'all shit. He ain't pulling up on you niggas like that. That's all Gabe C. That's on record.